Speaking of families, the last component that I would love to take up your time on is the trip that Vala Azra took to Greece with regards to the refugees, and how there was a beautiful documentary that was created by Iran International. I highly recommend anybody to YouTube it, The Voiceless Refugees. Wonderfully done. Would you mind just kind of speaking to me about how that affected you and what stood out and what you're hoping to do now to help with the situation that many of those Iranians are facing?
I think what the reason that we did the documentary, and we did it very, what you see is really what happened, and there was very little, production aspect to it. We we really wanted to shed light on this problem. We really didn't know. I didn't know what I was going to see, and I didn't know what to expect going on this trip. And it turned out, as I've said so many times, that to have been one of the best experiences of my life. Even though it was so extremely sad, it was also very, very uplifting in very strange ways. And the humanity and the connections I made there, and the stories that were shared with me, the trust that was put in me, I can't say enough. They're not words for it. But really, the documentary was made mainly because these people are suffering. Iranian refugees, especially, are suffering because they aren't really considered a category that's really at the top of any international organization's list, because they don't consider them refugees of war. They consider them economic refugees. Mm. And so they don't have as much access to things as, let's say, of course, Syrian refugees or Afghani refugees, But in fact, when you listen to the stories of these Iranian refugees, you realize what they went through is the same, if not worse, than war. They were running for their lives. Many of them, they were under abusive situations. They were jailed for things that were trumped up charges, or young people's families were threatened for things that they had done. And a lot of the women that I spoke to were victims of rape and other abuse, physical abuse, and with no protection from society and the law as it is currently in Iran. So really, that was the aim of the documentary. What was great that happened was, as a result, there was an outpouring of interest, and we were able to help them create a community center in Athens for refugees, especially Iranian refugees, where they could have access to a lot of different things.
The Cafe Pato?
Yeah, Cafe Pato, created by a refugee, Arash, a very, very lovely person who has his papers and could be off doing his own thing, but has chosen to stay in Athens mostly, and to basically continue to help his fellow refugees. And so really, it's been wonderful to be able to do that. And I hope to be able to continue supporting the expenses and things for that community center and help other refugees in Lesbos. But that can only happen if people continue to care. And we do have a GoFundMe, and I hope that every time I do one of these interviews, really the only reason I do it is because it's a chance to talk about the refugees, and maybe a few people will be generous and help us continue to help them.
Where's the best place that they can go to find out more, so that you can grow your team of people that can make an impact?
Yeah, we have a in the bio of my Instagram, Yasmine.Pahlavi. In the bio, there's a link to the refugees GoFundMe page, and it's through an organization called Persian American Women's Conference. Right. They have helped us because we wanted to make sure we do everything according to U.S. laws and U.S. accounting and regulations. So everything has been documented. Every expense, every dollar that people have donated has gone directly to the refugees, albeit in increments, because we're paying rent and we're helping them with some of the programs they have, some meal programs they have for refugees. It's been very difficult with Corona, so they've been making little bags of food and leaving it outside for pickup. So, and the kids, there's programs for the young kids who are there. Some 30% of these 13,000 refugees are kids, so they suffer a lot. So that's really all. If they go to my Instagram and to the bio, they will see it, and every dollar really counts.
Awesome, people. I appreciate you watching this segment. To watch the full video, which you should, please click up here. And then if you want to join our text community, the number is right about here. And even though you don't need no reminders and you've heard it a billion times, if you like the video, subscribe, hit the little ring of ding-a-ding-ding bell so you can be notified for our next video. Thank you so much and appreciate you watching. Awesome, people.